to life, even when Mama had tried to warn us of the dangers that lies ahead. In this parable, the longest one in the Bible, the longest one in chapter 15 of the Gospels, it talks about a father who has two sons. He had a young one that came and told his daddy, I want what is owed to me. I'm going to stop right there because if you're not familiar with the culture of the background, normally what the dad has, it is left to the oldest son. And it's up to the oldest son to give it to who he can do what he may with it. But in this case, that's not the case. The youngest son told his dad, I want what is owed to me. Now, I look at it and I said, he really is crossing the line. How you tell your daddy to give you something that you believe is owed to you, that is owed to you, even because you have not worked for nothing. You're asking for something that does not technically belong to you. In life, I find that we have some Christians, some sinners, and some holy saints that ask for things that they are not worthy to receive. In this case, we find that if you read a little on, that he starts to learn his lesson when he takes what does not belong to him and leave his covering to do what he wanted to do with it because he thought that he was bad and he thought he could do it all and he didn't need nobody help. But that's not the case. He thought that he knew it all without learning nothing and without listening. If we could be honest with ourselves for a moment, can I be transparent with you all? I see myself in this boy because I am hard-headed to the bone. Mama can tell me something, Daddy, preacher can tell me something, but it's not until I have ran my head against the wall a couple of times that I learned my lesson. I see myself, and I said, Lord, you're funny. The Lord got a sense of hearing. I talk to the Lord. Got a sense of hearing. Because I said, Lord, this is me all the way. Want something that does not belong to me. Want to do with it what I want to do with it because I think I know what I can do. This is me all the way. And if we can be honest with our neighbor, is some of us too. So we find that in verse 13, don't close your Bible because I'm a biblical preacher. I want you to read it because I don't want you to think I'm leading you astray. In verse 13, you read, it reads this. A few days later, his youngest son packed all his belongings and moved to a distant land. And there he wasted all the money in wild living. I'm going to stop right there because that verse says a lot. He got out there in the world, got a hold to some people he thought was his friends, and started living like the world. He started living like the world, and he was not designed to live like the world. And he found out that when you live like the world, you got to be ready for the world's consequences.
All right.
Some of us has been out in the world and trying to bring the world in the church, and we do what the world say in the church, and we find that we have some worldly sins that we're going to have to pay for, some worldly consequences that we're going to have to face. We find that I can't do what the world do. Why? Because I'm not designed nor created to be a part of the world. My biggest lesson was that I had to learn that I was not designed or could not fit in with the friends I wanted to hang with. On my way climbing up the ladder, I learned that some friends I thought was my friend were really not my friends. They were my students that I just so happened to bond it with and started carrying them. But soon they found out that when I'm climbing, you can't stop because when I get my mindset, I'm focused on what I want to do. So they started falling off. I picked up some friends along the way, and I try to pick up people and carry them or help them get to the next level I'm going because I found it that if we work together, we can make it. It's when you're on separate pages when things start falling apart.
That's right. You better preach.
And, him out on wild letters. He blew it all. Wasted. Didn't say none. Didn't get none to the side. And he thought it was all right. Then we find out in verse 14, about the time his money ran down. Listen. A great famine swept over the land, and he begins to starve. Wow. First point I want to make today: always be prepared for a rainy day. Always be prepared for a rainy day. You never know when the rain is going to come, but you always know it's going to rain. You never know if it's going to rain in your favor or against that favor you so-called thought you had. You got to be prepared. And we find that he is not prepared because he thought, like I said earlier, he knew it all. And he found out that he didn't know all that he thought he knew. Because now there's a famine and he is facing starvation. And even with now going back right now, he could stop, went back home, and apologized. You know what he said? I'm going to keep on doing it. So in the following verses, he meet a local farmer of the foreign land that he was in. In his land, he had no family. He had no covering, no protection. And the last thing I would do if I was him was hook up with somebody I didn't know. Because then you'll find yourself working at somebody pig pen. As you can see, the farmer put him, and he put him in a pig pen where he had to feed the pigs and feed them swine and all that slop. Now, the Jewish culture, it is not customary for them to be around swine because that's not part of their diet. If I could impose any part of wisdom, I would oppose this. Be careful when you put yourself in a predicament that you was not meant or created for, or that is not a part of you. In life, we find out that we put ourselves in places that could have been avoided only if we just stop, look, and listen. God gives you warning. He gives you signals to let you know, listen, cuz you're going the wrong way. You need to step back and let me drive. I'd have been this rock before. But you know, so now he's at the bottom. He has hit rock bottom because now he's in a pig pen around something he's not familiar with, doing something he was not created to do. And now he's at the rock bottom. Now he's at the point in the text where, verse 17, let me go back, verse 16. He's hungry. Now his hunger has got to a point where it's unbearable, and there's no one helping him. He's by there down and by himself because he all thought that he could do bad with no help. Verse 17, it says, when he had finally came to his senses, he said to himself, at home, even my father's high servants had food enough to spare. And I will go and ask my father, that Father, I have sinned against both heaven and you, and I am no longer worthy of being called your son. Please take me on as a high servant. Pinch it there right there. Underline, I'm no longer to be called your high servant. I'm no longer to be called your son. My bad. Y'all make mistakes. This is good. This is good. I'll read it. I read it over and I read it over because I found out that even when you turn from God, curse him out, after he just gave you what you wanted, do what you want to do, if sin, when you hit rock bottom, he will still call you his child. And is that good news for anybody in the house today that know, even when I'm not worthy to be called a child of God, he still calls me his child because I am one of his. It's good to know that even when I turn my back and walk, walk into my temptations or walk into my trials and do what I want to do, God still loves me. And still when he calls me his son, he still shows me favor. That's good to know. Somebody needed to know. Everybody don't know that Jesus died. Everybody don't know why he died. And everybody has yet to figure out where he went. on for a moment. I'm going to tell you where he went, how he got there, and what happened in the transition. Verse 19 reads, and I am known, verse 20. So he returned home to his father. And while he was still a long way off, his father saw him coming. Filled with love and compassion, he ran to his son, embraced him, and kissed him. Jewish culture, I got to go back to Jewish culture. We got to have a Black History moment. I mean, not a Black History moment, but we got to have a history moment. U.S. history, thank you. Jewish culture says when you have did wrong to your father or your family, the elders would line up outside the city to stone you. But let's look at the text. He said when his daddy saw him, he was still a far way off, filled with love and compassion, and knowing well it's going to happen. Yeah, come on. Filled with love and compassion, his daddy ran to him. And ran him, he fell and covered him and protected him from the stoning. The good news today is, even when everybody's throwing rocks at you and calling names, the Lord is going to cover you because he loves you and he has compassion for you. Even when people talk about you and they lined up because they knew you messed up and they want to throw it in your face, your daddy is going to watch over you. He's going to take and cover you and take what should have been for you. He's going to take the punishment for you. Because why? He loves you and you are his son. You are his son, you are his daughter. You are his children. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But the message don't end right there. I can stop and go to the cross and tell you how we got there, but we got to go on. Verse 21 says, his son said to him, Father, I have sinned against both heaven and you, and I am no longer worthy to be called your son. But his father said to the servant, quick, bring the finest robe in the house. Yeah. All right. Put a ring on his finger, sandals on his feet. All right. Kill the cow. We will have a feast. We will celebrate. Yes, because my son, which was lost, is now found, which was dead, is now alive. The good news is when you come back home, and you have been out in the world, you're a little dirty, but daddy don't care. He loves that you have came home. When you have been in the world and you are on your way home, he's standing right there with a robe for you, a ring for you, shoes for your feet. He's standing right there with the servants ready and his begging call for them to kill the calf, because why? They are going to celebrate. Somebody asked Raymond, why are they celebrating? They celebrate because he was lost in the world, couldn't find his way, but then he heard the master's call. And I'm here to tell somebody, I don't know if I got to preach this by myself, but I know when you're lost and you're alone and you get scared, but he never gave up hope. He kept on coming. He came home, found his daddy right there waiting on him, gave him a ring for his finger, a robe off his back for him, and shoes for his feet. Red, why are you happy about some people still sitting down. They ain't got the message yet. Somebody said, "Real?" I said, "Well, what's the main point?" Here you go. Watch it. Get ready for it. God longs for all his children to be in hell. So why is it that the road to hell is wide and the road to heaven is narrow? Let me tell you, because some Christian ain't told no sinner about his name named Jesus. Some Christian ain't told no sinner that God wants you, just like the army says. God wants you no matter what happens, no matter what you look like, no matter what people say about you, no matter what your past say. God wants you. Is there anybody here that know God is looking and waiting on you? Are you ready? He's knocking on your door. Ask me how I know. Because he sent his son Jesus to die for us over 2,000 years ago. Yeah. He sent his son and he died. And he died. But wait. He didn't stay there. I heard an old Baptist preacher say, he went down to hell, grabbed the keys, flipped on the table, kicked the door down, got up and walked out, because he had all the power in his hand. I said he had power, healing power, wonder-working power, power. Ask me why I preach like I do, because he got the power to take a freaking Christian and make him straight. He got the power to pull an apple off a tree that ain't bearing no fruit. He got the power to take a cricket ball and roll it straight down the court. He got the power.
That's my nephew. Oh, yeah.